We are live. What is going on, my friends? I am Christine H. Moore. Thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast today. I've got an amazing message for you that is going to help you, whether you are struggling with addiction or maybe you've been sober and in recovery for a while, but sometimes it's just hard to be able to stay positive and keep going. So stick around. I've got to change a few settings on Facebook so I can see my comments. But we are going to be going over 10 tips for staying positive during addiction and recovery. So enjoy this amazing song by Dante Bowie. I think it's Dante Bowe or Dante Bowie. I'm not sure. But it's called Joyful. And this is my jam right now. This is one of my favorites. It gets me going. So enjoy this, and I will be right back. Oops.
Calling out my friends, asking what's the move. Feeling a little different, I'm on something new. Today. I ain't gonna let no clouds get in my way. The only road I'm walking is the one I pick. Catch me sitting in the sun, no time for shade. Today. This is the day that the Lord has made. And I ain't gonna let it slip away. I'm gonna be
Joyful. Y'all, joyful is making a choice, no matter what the circumstances are.
They don't take it as a choice, but you gotta know that today's the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. And I ain't gonna let it slip away.
Don't let it slip away. Joyful. Woo! I just love that song. Ooh. Okay, guys, let's say, or let me put that on pause. Okay, back to StreamYard. Let me turn my comments on so I can see you guys. Okay, thank you so much for checking out this broadcast. I always love to start with a fun song, something to uplift my spirit and just spread some joy, because don't we need that, right? Especially with everything going on in this crazy world, right? But if you don't know me, let me introduce myself real quick. I am Christine H. Moore, and I am a certified peer recovery coach. What does that mean? Well, basically, at the end of the day, I provide resources and hope for those who are struggling with all kinds of addictions. And I help them get onto the road to recovery. But not only that, I help them to thrive in their recovery. My heart, my passion is to see people set free, to be free from the chains that hold them down, to see them live the life that God has called them to live. And so I know that for myself, it took a team, a huge team of people. It took a village to help me to get where I am today. And so I get on social media, I get on all different platforms to share my story, to share hope, inspiration, motivation. And I get messages from all of you on a daily basis. And it's just amazing to see what God is doing through me to help others. And it's so fulfilling and rewarding. And just thank you so much for all your support. I really do appreciate it. So today we're going to be talking about 10 tips to help you stay positive during drug addiction and recovery. Hey, Jenny, good to see you. Okay, so let me get to my screen here. All right. So change is hard, right? There are no two ways around it. No matter what change that you're making today, you are bound to hit the occasional road bump. Why? Because with positive change comes personal growth. And growing pains are a normal and expected part of progress. Ooh, isn't that true? Say you get a promotion at work, which is well-deserved and much anticipated. Regardless of how positive the change is, the adjustment period will probably prove at least a little bit difficult. You will have to settle into your new position and learn all the ins and outs. Eventually, you'll master this position just like you mastered the last one. It will just take a little time. The same goes for drug addiction recovery. You are making a positive change. You are working towards self-betterment, but addiction recovery can be tough, occasionally seen as you will be learning an entirely new way of life. Getting sober is a huge step in the right direction, but a huge step all the same. One thing that will make the transition easier is learning to stay positive. So right now, I've been working with a company called Recovery Link, and it is a brand new startup company. And we have a small team, and it has been quite a learning process. It's a brand new tech company. We're offering recovery services, a whole new system that we've had to learn, and we're working out all the kinks, but it's going to be amazing, once we finally are offering services. But just right now, we've been in the building phase and working things out, but it's going to be amazing. Okay. So the power so a lot of times, our teams, we get together twice a day, and we really have to encourage each other, don't get stuck in, the challenges. We have to make sure we keep the big picture in mind, right? So the power of positive thinking has been scientifically studied for many years, and its far-reaching effects have been proven over and over and over again. A study published by Johns Hopkins Medicine titled "The Power of Positive Thinking" further confirms that a change in attitude can have dramatic results. The study found that people who had a history of heart disease within their families were 1/3 less likely to develop heart disease themselves if they maintained a positive outlook. The study also noted several simple ways to boost your mood regardless of what you might be going through, including the most simplest things like smiling more often, building resiliency, meaning learning to adapt to adverse circumstances, and practicing acceptance. accepting that change is necessary and unavoidable. Okay? Change is so, it's just inevitable. Change is inevitable. And people who don't like change are going to have a really hard time adapting and being adaptable. Also, practicing reframing. So I have to do this a lot with the participant. Hey, Bobby, I didn't see you there. Hey, my friend, good to see you. Yes, acceptance is huge. Check this out, Bobby. Look. Hold on. Look, I can show you on the screen. Isn't that cool? So yes, Bobby says acceptance is huge. Okay. So I have to do this a lot with the participants that I work with, practicing reframing, meaning changing a negative situation into a positive one and focusing on all that you have to be grateful for. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that, my friend. I loved all your pictures from your vacation. Looked like a blast. I'm so happy for you. And you're famous now. I saw you in the newspaper. That's so cool. Okay, so let's get to the 10 tips. All right. Now, if you are already in recovery and you are looking for some advice on how to stay on the right track, you are in luck, my friend. So here's 10 tips for staying positive in your recovery. Okay, number 1. Here we go. Number 1, keep yourself out of harm's way. Keep yourself out of harm's way. So, avoid personal triggers to the best of your ability. And don't put yourself into situations that will make you uncomfortable or promote negativity. So do what you can to create a new routine, one that is conducive to your recovery. So that's going to mean stop spending time with the people that you used to use drugs with, right? Developing a new healthy routine is a great way to stay positive and sober. So, you are the people you hang around. That's the truth. So be very careful of who you are spending your precious quality time with, okay? Make sure it's with people who are going to help you be a better person, who are going to support your recovery, who are going to be positive, right? How many times have you, or I'll just speak for myself, where I'm a pretty positive person. Everybody says that about myself. But you just know when a toxic person walks in the room, because it's like the ceiling. It feels like the ceiling is coming down and like there's this heaviness, right? I don't know if you guys have experienced it that way, but that's how it feels for me. Like I can just feel the toxic energy, right? Bobby says, rid yourself of toxicity. Absolutely. So number 1 tip, keep yourself out of harm's way. So surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up and support you in your recovery. So important. Number 2, find a consistent peer support group. This is so huge. I have a wonderful group of friends in my MARA meeting that I go to. MARA stands for Medicated Assisted Recovery Anonymous. It is for people, well, really it's for anyone in recovery or anyone seeking to live a safe lifestyle. Okay, it can be for people who have to take medication during their recovery. And honestly, it can be for anyone. But what I love about MARA is that there is no judgment. There is no judgment. So whatever works for you, find yourself a peer support group, whether it's AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery. I mean, there's so many groups out there. And if you're not familiar with them, please reach out to me and I can definitely point you in the right direction. I mean, depending on what your style is, I mean, just anything. And there's so many. There's faith-based ones. There's ones for the LGBTQ community. I mean, all of them, okay? So find a consistent peer support group. In most cases, this will be, so a lot of people who get out of treatment go to IOP, which is intensive outpatient. Once you graduate from an intensive outpatient program, you're going to want to look for either a 12-step program or just some type of recovery meeting. And find a home group. And I want to say this straight up. Sometimes you have to go to several recovery meetings before you find the one that you call your home group, because I've been to some that just weren't for me. Okay, I'm not going to say they were bad. They just weren't for me. So I had to try to go to several until I found the one that I was like, this is my home. These are my people, right? I've had so many participants that I've worked with, and they're like, I went to a meeting and it sucked. It wasn't for me. And I'm like, okay, well, did you try another one? No, I went to one and I know it's not for me. And I try to encourage them. You have to go like literally at least to 10 of them before you can really decide, okay, is this for me or is it not for me? Okay, so number 1 is keep yourself out of harm's way. Number 2, find a consistent peer support group. And number 3, build a solid and extensive support group. So outside of recovery meetings, you want to have an extensive group. So I like to call it my board of directors. That's what I like to call it. Some people call it their close inner circle. Yeah, Bobby says, same. I waited over a month to choose my home group when I first came into recovery. Okay? So, it's not just me saying this. You've got to go to quite a few until you find what works for you. Okay, so now let's talk outside of the recovery meeting. So for me, I have hired mentors, counselors. I met with my pastor a lot of the times, and then just other people, other friends that were in recovery. I mean, and it was hard for me in the beginning because I'm a natural introvert and very shy. So I had to really step out of my comfort zone and be, what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive, and really go out there and start building my inner circle, my board of directors for my life, my recovery. Okay? Let's see. So, where was I here? So build a solid and extensive support group. Beyond your IOP group or your home group, you will want to develop a team of supportive people that are always on your side. Your support group might include family members who are supportive of your recovery, close sober friends who only want the best for you, your therapist, a counselor, or your case manager. Be sure that you have a couple of very close sober friends who you can bring along to events that you might not be ready to navigate on your own, like social gatherings, weddings, holiday parties, things like that. It just depends. Yeah, Bobby says I call them my tribe. I love that. Okay, so number 4, find effective ways in which to manage your cravings. So cravings are very normal. Trust me, even if you've been in recovery for a while, they happen. Cravings are a normal and expected part, especially in early recovery. Rather than get down on yourself whenever you experience a craving, do what you can to combat it. Depending on your personal needs and requirements, this might look like calling a sober friend and talking it through, going on a long jog, hitting a meeting, or sharing about it in your IOP group. So for me personally, I get cravings still, and usually moving my body will fix it every time. So going for a hike, or just going outside and just getting some sunshine, breathing, meditating. I'll get on YouTube and I'll find, some type of guided meditation, or maybe it's just calling someone, just depending on the mood or whatever that day is. I have a variety of things that I turn to that combat those cravings, and they help so much. Bobby says, I just had cravings. Let me pull it up here. I just had cravings the other day. I was triggered in a meeting. I had to talk it out and take a walk. Yes, I have been triggered in meetings myself. Sometimes people will be talking about a particular issue, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'll feel it's just like it just comes on just like that. Even though I've been in recovery for 6 years, I still get it. Okay, let's see here. Where is my screen? Okay. So number 5, find a hobby that you thoroughly enjoy and participate in this hobby as often as you can. This is so important because when we were in active addiction, that's like all we did. Our whole lives was just based on using and trying to figure out how we were going to get our next fix. And it's like everything else, all the things that we enjoyed, any hobbies went to the wayside. So now this is a fun time because you get to know you again and you get to figure out what you love again. So find a hobby. One of the best ways to maintain a positive outlook is by filling your free time with things that you enjoy doing things that bring you joy. Okay. I love to always encourage my friends to do that. Do what brings you joy. It's so important. So things that make you feel fulfilled and good about yourself. One of the most wonderful things about drug addiction recovery is the newfound ability to engage in activities you enjoy. So replace laying in bed until 3 p.m. with surfing or paddleboarding. Replace long nights blacked out at the local bar with salsa lessons. I mean, the world is your oyster, my friend. Go and have some fun. Go and find something that is going to fill your soul, right? Bobby says vacations bring me joy. LOL. Amen to that. And especially the beach. Hello. My friend Bobby here just got back from Sarasota. He went to the beach and oh my gosh, all the pictures I saw on Facebook were amazing, my friend. So happy for you. Okay, so number 5 is find a hobby that you thoroughly enjoy. So do things that bring you joy. Number 6, find ways to relax. Tension and stress lend themselves to negative thinking. If you start to feel overwhelmed, do whatever it is that you need to do to relax. And it looks different for everybody. This might look like taking a bubble bath, reading a book, taking a yoga class, listening to your favorite music, or engaging in meditation and breathing exercises. When you are relaxed, you become more inclined to engage in positive thinking. So let me just tell you this real quick. If you feel stressed, this is a little tip that I learned. And it's super easy and it takes just a few seconds. Take your hand like this and trace your fingers with your breath. So watch, you're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Namaste. That's one of the easiest things that I do for myself when I start to feel overwhelmed, stressed. I can do it anywhere at any time. And how long did that take? 20 seconds? So do whatever works for you, but that's just an idea. I love getting on YouTube, finding all types of videos to do guided meditations. So just do whatever works for you. Find ways to relax, okay? Okay, number 7, take care of your physical health and well-being. I know this is it's pretty obvious, but people just don't do it. They don't do it, and then they wonder why they have problems. Yes, possibilities are endless in recovery. Amen. So let's talk about this. Taking care of you, your physical health and well-being. Getting enough sleep every night. Be sure that you're eating 3 balanced meals a day and try to squeeze in exercise whenever you can. A lot of times people will think, well, I only have 10 minutes. That's not enough, so I'm not going to bother. Move your bodies. Our bodies are not designed to be sitting down all day long. They're not. When you don't move your body, that is when it starts to break down. I promise you that. I have to remind my mom about this all the time. You know, she's almost 80 years old and she gets a lot of pains and aches. And I'm like, well, Mom, did you move your body today? Oh, no. Okay, go for a walk and then call me back and let me know how you feel. And every time, she always feels better. Always, okay? So, getting enough sleep, that's huge. And eating balanced meals, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to, I like to think of it this way. I like to pick foods that are going to bless my body, right? When I'm about to eat, I ask myself, is this going to bless my body? Is it going to give me energy? Is it going to make me feel good? Or is it going to make me bloated and irritable? And, is it going to cause problems? If you are feeling physical pain, speak with someone about it. Post-acute withdrawal syndrome, which is also called PAWS, is a very common part of early drug addiction recovery. When symptoms of PAWS are not being effectively treated, they can compromise your mental well-being. Trust me on this. Speak with an addiction specialist or a healthcare professional about how to best manage symptoms. So I remember when I first got into recovery and I was freshly sober, I probably had post-acute withdrawal syndrome for at least 5-6 months. And it's different for everybody, but for me, it was like I had a sore back at a lot of times, muscle aches, cramps, a little bouts of depression, anxiety, things like that. So it's very important to make sure you are aware of it, okay? Because being aware of it is huge. Sometimes people are like, I don't understand why I'm having these symptoms when I've been sober for, a few months. It's different for everybody. Everybody's different. Our body chemistries are all different. Some experience it for a very short time. Some people experience it for like a year or more. Okay? So just being aware of it and talking with your doctor or healthcare professional on how to help manage your post-acute withdrawal syndrome, okay? So, taking care of your body, eating healthy, exercising, just moving your body. It doesn't have to be a full workout. It can just be going for a walk around the block, walking your dog, dancing in the kitchen. I do that all the time. So whatever it is that works for you. Okay. All right. We are almost done. Thank you for sticking along with me here. So number 8, this one for me is the most important. It definitely is the most important. Let's see. Julie says, I'll be doing that in the airport tomorrow. Awesome. Bobby says, I agree. Over the past 10 months, I have been getting 8 hours almost every night. I've seen a major difference in my body and brain with normal sleep. I know, right? And you know what, Bobby? I have been getting 9 to 10 hours of sleep, and it's been amazing. Amazing. And when I get less than 8, oh my gosh, I notice a huge difference. Huge. Some people don't require as much sleep, but I'm telling you, the more I can sleep, the better. Okay. Number 8. This one is so important. Volunteer to help others whenever possible. Okay. Anytime one of my participants says that they're going through a hard time, you know what I tell them? Go help someone else in need. Because we get stuck in our heads and all we can focus on is our problems. So when we go and help someone else, it takes the focus off of ourselves and onto someone else. And typically 9 times out of 10, I see that I don't have it that bad. Seriously, that's typically what happens. So, volunteer to help others whenever possible. This will help you feel better about yourself and your own circumstances while building self-esteem. Volunteer at a local soup kitchen. Volunteer to bring a 12-step meeting into a medical detox facility. Even volunteer to be the designated driver if you feel like doing so will not trigger you. Just be of service wherever you can. I facilitate 2 MARA meetings a week, and I'm telling you, I go in there and it's like I'm being of service, but I'm the one that gets blessed because those people in those meetings are amazing, and it helps me so much in my recovery. So being of service, volunteering, giving back. All right, 2 more. Number 9. Decide how you will respond to others when they ask you about your recovery. Having an idea of how you will answer questions like, why don't you drink? Or you can't have even one, will help you put your mind at ease. So being prepared breeds positivity, okay? And it's different for everybody. Just figure out what it is that works for you. Bobby says, I'm secretary on the board of Drug Free All Stars here in Michigan. It's a nonprofit that offers resources to help people get into treatment and recovery. It is a voluntary position. I facilitate 3 MARA meetings. Boom. That right there, Mr. Bobby, my friend Bobby, is being of service. And this is how he helps himself in his recovery. Right here. Okay? Great example. Thank you for sharing that, my friend. So just make sure, number 9, decide how you're going to respond to those uncomfortable questions. Well, you can't just have one. Why aren't you drinking? And just be firm and know what you're going to say. That will help. That will definitely help with what's the word I'm looking for? Your confidence and just knowing what you're going to say. Okay, number 10. This one, I don't know. They're all important, but this one I think is the most important. Gratitude. Jotting down 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for whenever you start to feel sad. But you know what? I'm going to go beyond that because I think gratitude should be practiced on a daily basis. I have this journal right here. This is my gratitude journal right here. And I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. And they are very specific, small things, that have happened in the last 24 hours. So let's see here. Okay, here's one. On November 7th, 2019, I wrote down, so I have it right here, having lunch with Caden. That's my youngest son. So having special time with him. I put great conversation with Ben. That was a client of mine at the time. Let's see, I put down fostering the sweetest little kitties. Auntie G visiting, her kindness and generosity, and I had a good night's rest. That's just an example of writing down 5 things that I'm grateful for on a daily basis. And you know what? When you do it every day, it trains your brain to start looking for those moments every day. Every day. So now when I go through life, I'm like aware, and I see it in everything. Like I see God in every detail, and it's beautiful. And it's because I have a practice of writing down what I'm grateful for on an everyday basis. So the power of gratitude, my friends, is life changing. If you want to stay positive, get yourself a gratitude journal. You don't even have to have a journal. Just write it on a piece of paper or put it on your phone, wherever. Gratitude daily. That's right, Bobby. Okay. So those are the 10 tips, and let me just go over them real quick just in case you just hopped on. I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm just going to highlight them real quick. 10 tips for staying positive in your recovery. Number 1, keep yourself out of harm's way. Be careful who you're surrounding yourself with. Number 2, find a consistent peer support group. If you're not familiar with any, please reach out to me and I will point you in the right direction. Number 3, build a solid and extensive support group. So have your tribe or your inner circle, your board of directors, whatever you want to call it, your people that are going to help you in your recovery. Number 4, find effective ways in which to manage your cravings. So whatever that looks like for you, if you have a craving, move your body, go for a walk, go for a hike, meditate, pray, read, cook, whatever, dance, whatever it is that works for you. Number 5, find a hobby that you thoroughly enjoy and participate in this hobby as often as you can. So do what brings you joy. Write down a list, because sometimes when we're depressed or down, we forget what brings us joy. So write it down and then go do it. Number 6, find ways to relax. Tension and stress lend themselves to negative thinking. So whatever, again, different for everybody. Do whatever works for you. Bubble bath, reading a book, taking a yoga class, listening to music, whatever it is. Find ways to relax. 7, take care of your physical health and well-being. Move your body. Move your body. Whatever it is. Going for a walk, going to the gym, whatever it is, move your body, my friends. And getting enough sleep, eating foods that will bless your body. And number 8, volunteer, give back, lead a meeting, go help a friend that's in need. Do whatever it is that will help others. It gets you out of your head, out of your problems, and focus on someone else. Number 9, decide how you will respond to others when they ask you about your recovery. Why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you using? Why can't you just have one? Make sure you know what you're going to say. And the last one is gratitude. Write down 5 things you're grateful for every single day. Something small that happened in the last 24 hours. Do it on a daily basis. And my friends, it trains your brain to start looking for all those moments all throughout your day. I hope that this blessed you. If it did, like, comment, share this out because other people need to hear it. Recovery is amazing. But being in recovery doesn't mean that life is going to be perfect. Life is still hard. And we have to be aware and we have to practice being positive and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Hold on, it was up here. I want to make sure. Adaptable. We have to be adaptable because change is inevitable. It is inevitable. So, going with the flow, making sure that you can be adaptable and flexible and mobile and practice these 10 tips. And my friends, if you do, you will stay in a positive mindset and your recovery will be so much better and so much more rewarding, fulfilling, beautiful, all of it. Okay? I love you. Please reach out if you are struggling. I'm here for you. I am available, ChristineHMoore.com, or wherever you are watching this, whatever platform it is, you can message me and I will get back with you as soon as I can. God bless you. And I will close it out again with this amazing song by Dante Bowie called Joyful. Oh, let me go back one. Joyful.
Said I woke up to the summer shining through. Calling out my friends asking what's the move. Feeling a little different, I'm on something new. Today. I ain't gonna let no clouds get in my way. The only road I'm walking is the one I pick. Catch me sitting in the sun, no time for shade.
Today.
This is the day that the Lord has made. And I ain't gonna let it slip away. I'm gonna be joyful. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be joyful. Today. I'm gonna be joyful.
Love you guys.